Yes, this is Andy. I wanted to give you some sleepers for today because that's how you get a tournament win. Make sure you get in players that are basically not highly owned and see if you can get them. So many tournaments are going with lower tier pitchers that can help you build a cash stacked lineup. So I'm looking at here right now using the draft dashboard, which you can get just by clicking in the link in the description. And so Tanner Roark is interesting here for today's Sunday afternoon slate. The batting average versus the Reds is okay. This is assuming probably you've done already, some of your basic research already. Maybe looked at the lines on the day, the odds, and so forth. Perhaps on Roto Grinders, and maybe before you've even looked into any articles or even watched YouTube videos out there, even such as this, and then begin to look at more chalky type or highly owned players out there and looking for these guys. But in the section of the dashboard that I'm in right now, these are low risk proven players. As you can see, is indicated, except one guy, Trevor Story, who's also interesting for the day, that this indicates a +3 value in terms of this is really important. I at one time thought it wasn't, but it is because it's organized in terms of players that are on hot streaks lately, which you hope continues because he just had a 49-point game on Fanduel, and before that even a 67-point game. So the upside is high, and we're hoping, of course, it can stay high. As it is, it does seem to be a favorable matchup. Maybe not the best matchup on the day, but he's highly affordable compared to the next guy I'll go over. Looking at his ERA and everything is okay. His win-loss record could be better, but 98 pitches per game, that's fine. That's what we want so that it won't be a bullpen game. Just kind of making our checkpoints here. Like it shows here, 293 average versus Reds, which is all right. Hopefully doesn't give up too much hard contact on the day, but it could happen, of course. But you never know. He has KO, and here also, yeah, the 4.37. That's his ERA. It's not his skill interactive, showing his true skills inside of him that he can perhaps outperform that. But that would take a little bit more research, perhaps for another day to look at that info. It can be found in a couple places, but I'll go over that in another video. And so when you look at really the pitcher position to try to finish this out for the tournament, which is a little bit more difficult, you could say, it's kind of obvious here today, that Aaron Nola is the cash game, and you can use it for a tournament as well. But when you're arranging this in the best possible order, because this will save you a lot of research when you try to look at WOBA and things like that. This brings it to you broken down a bit because it's giving you the weighted on-base percentage. Shows a player's weighted OPS versus upcoming lefty, righty, and switch-handed players. So it's really good for Nola, and Danny Duffy's also an option more so for a tournament. But then, for how much less here? Another 1,000 less drop down. As you can see, it's a 9 over under. So it's not expected to be too highly. It's not one of the higher scoring games of the day. If you want to compare him to Duffy, he's also a good option. He's got a 659 weighted OPS versus Minnesota, as all these adjustments occur, of course, according to the matchup. And he's usually got a 758 is indicated right here. So this is also a good matchup. You can choose, if you can afford, if your lineup stack, or double stack perhaps, 4 and 4 or 4-3 stack, however that works out for you. If you can upgrade to Duffy, that's fine. So those are the two guys I'm looking at for today. As indicated here, hasn't always been, he's actually been having good games, 44, a 40, and a 55. So, and you can see the value of his playing on there. It's 28 points projected, 318 fantasy value points compared to Roark, 272 value per point, which is even better at 30. maybe 31 projected. So he's projected at even maybe a higher total. In fact, that's interesting than Duffy. So, and then we want to look at some stacks, of course, and try to determine if we can check out this information. Deck McGuire, it's going to be a bad game for him versus Cleveland, as they're projected to have a high scoring game. And also, of course, the Cubs are the highest point total implied point of 7 runs, which is a lot. So let's find out who's pitching against. Yeah, of course, it's Luke Casey, and he's even, let's see, dealing with a stomach virus. So maybe his stomach's not going to allow him to keep on going so well either. So, we can see the point totals. We can gather all the same type of info, and of course, we want to go ahead and look at the Cubs. Looking here, especially righties, perhaps, and looking at them. But with the Indians, hopefully, we get something even better. Let's see. Indians at home doing well. Righties and switch hitters they have a lot of. So I would take advantage of that fully, and do maybe a 40% stack of them, and then the rest mix and match. And maybe I'll find a lower owned. Let's see, lefty and righty pretty even here, which is very good. Maybe versus Dan Straley, we could do Philadelphia, stack along with Cleveland, or we could do probably. We could find some White Sox. There's not many lefties there. Let's look on the Angels versus Bieber. He can be blown up right now. He's still young, pitcher and not experienced. So they have 3 lefties on the roster. No Trout probably. So let's look on here. Just looking for a good team to double stack with the Indians. As we take some chalk, but then look for some lower owned option. Maybe there are 4 Texas lefties here we can look at, giving up a 8-13 lefty. So we could look at that, and just moving on maybe also as well. Not really interested, I suppose, in Atlanta. Wade Miley. Oh, this is a big interest for me, actually. The Colorado righties, there's enough of them there. That could be the best stack if we can afford it. With Rourke, we probably can. Let me see. We can try to do that here. Hold on. So I'm bringing up all likely, not confirmed, but available players in the lineup. And so that we can sort by team right here, just press on UTIL for utility, which does include all positions, so that we can just simply look at and organize the players on the teams as we look at, just arrange that there. And we drop to Cleveland to see who we can afford. Let's see. So we can see here some of these guys are in good positions, good matchups. As I mentioned, the switch hitters, the righties, Ramirez, Encarnacion, you can't go wrong with Lindor. And looking, of course, for a couple of cheaper guys, Roberto Perez, I'll take. And then moving on here conveniently right down the line to Colorado. Looking at all the righties. Arenado, Story as mentioned, already hit his target there. Cuevas. We got Garrett Hampton. Look at that. He's got quite an impressive recent thing going on there. 100 dash rank projection. So maybe he'll get you a good 9 points at least. And then what else we got here? Gonzalez, and these guys are lefties. So it looks like on the cheaper side, we'll get it from Colorado, combined with the Indian stack. This is really the best possible stack I would come up with. So let's see how it goes here and optimize. So as this generates, we'll obviously see here who's best fitting in and where. We got Reese Hoskins fitting in excellent for today play. We fit Story in there, Cabrera, as I mentioned, Hampton, Encarnacion. But I don't like the pitcher. That's not one of the guys I wanted, was it? Where is Rourke? There he is. So our salary's at 36,700. We got to get rid of 700 salary. Let's see. I just wanted to make sure they're stacked well. Ramirez, E5, good. Lindor, expensive guys, but we've got Cuevas, Cabrera, Story, Gary Hampton. Those are probably bottom of the orders guys for Colorado, but that's fine. I'm good with that. So even though they had a zero stinker game yesterday, I expect them to bounce back in a good matchup here in Milwaukee, which is a good hitter's park. And so let's see what change we can make. You just look at your options real quick because this won't take a lot of time with this tool here to see if any of the guys we watch was below 2,800. We can easily downgrade Hoskins, of course, and look at that option, but no one's there. Let's see. So as you can see, I was just playing around to see what I get, and likely that is below the 35,000 that we need to fit our lineup in for the day. And it's just taking a little time to load, I'm sure, because of the connection, but I'm sure we'll be all set and give you a good idea there of a lineup stack with a good probable pitcher for a tournament lineup for today. Thanks for watching.